Hi everyone. This short restorative practice is open to anyone, but it is specifically designed for women on their monthly cycle and can help to alleviate cramping. Even though all women have menstruation in common, each woman experiences her monthly cycle differently. If your eyes aren't already closed, please allow your eyelids to soften shut. Allow the muscles in your forehead, your cheeks, and your jaw to soften and let go of all tension in your face. Take an inhale through your nose. Fill your lungs up with goodness and love. And then exhale either through your nose or your mouth and let it all go. Bring your palms to touch at your heart and gently bow your forehead down, chin in towards your chest, dedicating this practice to feeling good. Lift your chin and then uncross your legs and bring the soles of your feet to touch for Baddha Konasana. Lift and lower your knees just a little bit, opening out through the hip joints. If it feels good, maybe you can lower one ear to one shoulder, and then the other ear to the other shoulder. Maybe it feels good to bring your chin back down towards your chest, and maybe look up. Let's move on to a forward fold. So if you're like me, maybe your hips are feeling a little tight today. So find the support of your blocks or maybe a few pillows and place them underneath your thighs, your knees, or your shins. Whenever you feel ready, maybe guide your heels a little further away from your body as you exhale and fold in between your knees. You can keep your hands on your feet or walk your hands out in front of you. Maybe your forearms touch the earth like me. Maybe they don't. Let go of any expectation for this pose or how this pose should look and focus on how it feels in your body today. Continue to breathe into the sensations in your hips and maybe some elongation through your spine. Beautiful. On an inhale, begin to walk yourself upright. And go ahead and circle your arms up, overhead. Your eyes can be opened or closed as you bring your hands down to your heart center. On an inhale, circle your arms up. Palms come to touch and exhale, hands down to your heart. Good. This time, inhale your arms up and invite in a side bend. So your right hand comes down to the earth and reach up and over with your left fingertips. You can walk your lower fingertips away from your hips to deepen the stretch. And then look up past your left bicep. Inhale, both arms come up. Look up. And exhale, other side. Keeping both sit bones firmly rooted down. Bring your upper shoulder back and walk your lower fingertips away from your body as much as feels right. Inhale, squeeze your feet together, engage your core, come upright. And exhale, hands come to your heart and then all the way to your knees. Invite in some shoulder rolls to release some tension in the neck and the shoulder joint. So 3 in one direction and 3 in the other direction. Next, a single-legged forward fold. Slowly remove the block under your right knee and extend the right leg long. If you have sensitive knees like me, you may choose to keep the support under your left knee. When you're ready, inhale, circle your arms up, and as you exhale, pivot your heart over your right leg and begin to fold forward. Breathe into the sensations you feel in your right hamstring, your left outer hip, and possibly even the left side of your quadratus lumborum or your QL muscle, which is the deepest set of abdominal muscles found in the space between your pelvis and lower ribs on the back side of your body. On an inhale, press yourself up, coming out of the pose, reaching your arms up and then bringing them back to your heart center, just briefly, so that we can remove the block under our left knee to extend both of our legs nice and long out for Upavishta Konasana, or wide-legged forward fold. Whenever you're ready, slowly begin to lower your body in between your legs. Your legs can be as wide as feels good, and your toes are flexed up towards the sky. You can lower down onto your forearms, or you can keep yourself propped up. To exert less energy and find a more passive version of this pose, enlist the support of a block under your forehead like I am doing, or perhaps you'd like to use a pillow or two so that you can drape and rest your entire upper body on something comfortable and fluffy. Fully relax into this pose and let go of any muscular engagement in your body. One more breath here. And slowly begin to press yourself up. Bend into your right knee and we'll move on to a single-legged forward fold on the other side. Place a block under your knee if it felt good and inhale your arms up. Rotate your heart and fold over your left straight leg. Hands to the earth wherever it feels nice. The key to any yoga pose is to find that balance of effort and ease, strength and grace. Allow the effort and the strength to come from your breath awareness, and allow your ease and your grace to come from your body awareness. Slowly begin to inhale your arms up and exhale, hands down the midline to your heart. Remove the block from underneath your knee and extend your legs out long for Paschimottanasana. Wiggle your tootsies and smile as you circle your arms up and exhale, begin to fold. Invite in a nice generous bend into your knees and perhaps place a block or a pillow underneath you for some additional support. Slowly, without rushing at all, begin to come out of the pose and remove your blocks and place them over to the side. Roll over your knees and come to tabletop pose. I'm just going to shift over here on my mat so you can see me better. From your tabletop form, begin to lower your belly, lift your gaze, and send your tailbone nice and high for cow pose. Draw your shoulders back, lift up through your chest and breathe. Find cat pose in the opposite motion. Dome your spine up towards the sky, chin in towards your chest, and send your tailbone down. Undulate through your spine on your own. A few more rounds. Take this time here to move with curiosity. scan your body and check in with how you're feeling. Return to a neutral tabletop pose. Untuck your toes and pat out the top of your feet. Find a closed-kneed child's pose and sail your hips back towards your heels. Allow your forehead to touch down onto the mat. Extend your arms back with your palms flipped up so that your shoulders can just drip away from your body and down towards the mat. Child's pose is a resting pose. It helps to calm the body, mind, and spirit. And if your forehead's on the ground, it also stimulates the third eye point. As I'm sure you can feel, child's pose gently stretches the lower back. Very gently begin to come out of your child's pose and make your way either to a neutral tabletop or, if you prefer, a downward facing dog. We're going to be moving into half pigeon pose. Allow the right knee to come forward and lower it towards the right wrist crease or thumb. Sink your hips down towards the earth. Keep the right heel close to the body and point the toes. We are aiming towards level hips, so pull the right hip back slightly and maybe even place a blanket underneath your right glute for some additional support. Take a quick peek behind you to make sure your left leg is creating a straight, long line coming from your left hip point and the toes are not curling inward. When you feel set up for ultimate comfort, lower your body down into sleeping pigeon. For people with knee sensitivity, I recommend taking reclined pigeon on your back instead. Whatever variation you find to be relaxing and opening in your hip. It's extremely common and natural for thoughts to pop into your mind, especially during this pose. And that's okay. As the thoughts pop in, acknowledge them and then send them on their way and come back to your breath. Gently and sweetly begin to press yourself up to come out of the pose. Remove whatever support may be around you. Find whatever counter movements feel good for you after your pigeon pose. I like three-legged dog, where I can open my hip and make circles with my knee to invite in fresh blood and lubricating synovial fluid into the hip joint. You can make knee circles from a tabletop position too. Make sure the circles go in both directions. And however you want to get there, we will move into pigeon pose on the other side. So the left leg will be forward and the right leg long behind you. Find the support of your blanket underneath your left hip if you need it. Untuck your right toes behind you and take a quick glance back at your right leg. Make sure everything's in line. Take a big inhale to find length, and then exhale to fold into yourself. Keeping a nice long spine, rest your head down onto something. Breathe into the sensations you feel in your body. Wherever you feel tension, send your breath there and feel as the breath helps the tension to dissolve. Slowly, gently, and sweetly begin to press yourself up. Remove whatever props you may have been using. Tuck your back toes and either come to a three-legged dog or a three-legged table to find some knee circles. And with every circle you make with your knee, just feel the tension in your hip dissolving. from a neutral tabletop, walk your hands towards the top of your mat while the hips descend. Untuck the toes for cobra pose. Keeping the shoulders back and the neck long, gradually lower down to find a baby cobra variation. Keep your neck nice and long and squeeze your shoulder blades behind you. Lower your forehead towards the earth. On an inhale, begin to press yourself back up, coming in to a baby cobra. So using the strength of your back muscles to lift your upper body and then lower it back down. One more time on an inhale, come up. And exhale to lower down. Flip over onto your back. Scoot your body down a little bit to make sure that you're situated on the middle of your mat. Supported bridge pose. Reach for your block and place it underneath your hips, right at your sacrum, or that nice flat part of your lower back. Feet can be a little bit wider than hips with distance, and it's okay if your heels are a little ahead of your knees. Relax through your shoulders, your neck, your face. Give your arms as much space as they need. And flip the palms up if they're not already there to encourage expansiveness through the chest. Stay in your bridge pose for as long as you'd like, or if you would like to move into legs up the wall, with or without the wall, you can begin to elevate your feet now. Lower your toes down towards your body and then point your toes up towards the sky. A few times like that, working your heels over your hips, but if they're not directly on top, that's okay. Just sending a little love to the ankle joint and the toes. Keep your hands underneath your hips, or if you'd like, you can extend your arms up overhead. Slowly begin to lower your feet down towards the earth. With your hands, remove the block from underneath your hips and then draw your knees in towards your chest and give yourself a nice loving squeeze. Compress yourself into the tiniest ball and begin to lift your head up so your forehead's lifting towards your knees. Lower your head back down towards the earth. Lift your head up, stretch the back of your neck, and lower your head down. One more time. Lift the head up, and exhale, lower the head. Right knee stays close. Extend through your left leg and lower it down onto the ground. Pull the right knee in and begin to make circles with your right toes in one direction and then the other. Again, just sending a little bit of love to our right ankle. Next, for a supine twist. Left hand guides the right knee to the left side of the mat. So the hips will arrange themselves now, one on top of the other. If you'd like, you can place a block underneath your right knee. Anchor both shoulders into the mat. Right arm is long and level with the shoulder. Look over towards your right thumb if it feels okay in your neck. Some women avoid twisting their midsection during their monthly cycle, but others find twists to feel cleansing, like a massage of the internal organs. So if this twist is uncomfortable for you, please skip it. Whenever you're ready, unwind and bring your knees back into your chest for a neutralizing squeeze. Keep your left knee pressing into your body and lengthen and lower through the right leg. Invite circular movements into your ankle. Move in to the twist on the other side, exploring whatever variation brings you the most relief and restoration. Slowly unwind from your twist, knees towards the chest. Separate your knees so the soles of your feet touch, and if possible, interlace your fingers around your feet and slowly draw the heels in towards the body. Keep your entire spine painted down on the earth and maybe rock just a little bit from side to side. Stay here or move into happy baby pose, reaching for whatever's accessible to you. You can keep your hands on your feet if you'd like, or your hands can move to the outside of your calves or ankles. Release your happy baby and place your feet down on the earth, preparing for supported Supta Baddha Konasana. So grab your blocks, open out through your knees, and place the blocks underneath your thighs or your calves or wherever feels most supportive. Broaden out through the arms to feel a slight lift and expansiveness through the chest. Or as an option, you can place one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly, so you can feel the belly and chest rise and fall with each breath. As we wind down our time together, take this opportunity for a full body scan and ask yourself how you're feeling now. Whenever you're ready, begin to elongate through your legs and journey towards Shavasana, our final resting pose, a pose of integration and surrender. Feel free to rest here as long as you would like. If you're ready to move on with your day, begin to roll over onto one side and come to fetal pose. Calmly begin to press your body up. Keeping your eyes closed if possible, come to a comfortable seat and circle through your neck once or twice, reawakening. And then slowly bring your hands to your heart. Bow your head, chin in towards your chest. Namaste. Thank you everyone so much for joining me. Have a good day.